And it is time for the Word on Wall Street. Top investors watching your money. Joining me right now is the Fitz-Gerald Group Principal, Keith Fitz-Gerald, Optimal Capital Director of Strategy, Francis Newton-Stacy. Francis, great to see you, and thank you so much to you both for joining us this morning. I want to kick things off with you, who said that the statement is going to be a lot about that, about inflation and about what the plans are going forward. Oil prices part of that, Keith. Oil now below $100 for the first time since late February. Prices are right now staying below 100. You're talking about crude oil and Brent now in the 90s at 95.84 for the price of crude. How significant is this move lower, Keith, and has that changed your allocation decisions?
You know, that's an interesting question because I think it's hard to argue that oil is absolutely overvalued here. It's still undervalued. We've got supply sitting roughly 15% below the 5-year average right here in the United States, and around the world it's the rest of the same. Demand is coming back up to 100 million barrels a day. You've got 3% slack in this system, most of which is now at problematically, can't redrill it, can't bring it back online quickly. So this kind of stuff is going to stay with us for months. I think it's naive to sell oil like it doesn't exist or is going to go out of existence. And the last fact is there's something to the order of 30 to 45,000 industrial processes that depend on oil. Even if we have a perfect substitute, we can't get around that for the next 10, 20, 30 years. So this idea that oil is suddenly going to pull back and drop off the shelf doesn't sit well with me. And in fact, we're probably going to increase our investments to big energy, which is already looking past it.
So you want to buy oil stocks here, Keith, or do you want to actually just buy the commodity? How do you play it as an investor?
Well, me personally, commodities are very tempting because they've got a lot of movement, they get a lot of headlines, but I think the real piece is to go after a company like Chevron. And here's why. It's not just about the oil they bring out of the ground or the reserves they have in the ground. They've got one of the most aggressive breakthrough energy campaigns in the world, investments in nuclear fusion, oil, all kinds of other alternative power. So the oil companies themselves understand the game that's being played. As much as they're vilified, they're in fact looking well beyond oil. And I think that's a good thing, and that gives you the benefit if you're buying the stocks rather than the commodity.
Yeah, it's a great point. Francis, we're waiting on some economic data. This great analysis from you both, Keith Fitz-Gerald and Francis Newton-Stacy. Thank you so much. Have a good Wednesday, and we will see you soon. Still ahead.
Hi, it's Keith here. Thanks for checking out today's highlight clip. What'd you think? Did I make sense? Is there something you'd like to add? Make sure you leave a comment down below, and of course, click subscribe to keep up right here on YouTube, or sign up for the email newsletter at the link below. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram for my real-time thoughts on markets, analysis, and a whole lot more.